This ETF is up 378% over the last 5 years. If you love making easy money, stick around. Today we're going to be talking about Cathie Woods. Well, as much as I'd love to talk about her, we're actually going to be talking more specifically about her innovation-led ETF, ARK Invest. ARK Invest's philosophy is to find industries that have major disruptive innovation just on the horizon. ARK defines disruptive innovation as the introduction of a technologically enabled product or service that has the potential to change the way the world works. ARK searches for companies that can make big-time plays in 4 particular fields, which are the genomic revolution, which is areas related to DNA technology, autonomous tech and robotics, which is advancements in energy, automation, and manufacturing. So for this, think about electric vehicles, robots, 3D printing, and space exploration. Next generation internet, which is increased use of shared technology, infrastructure, and services, as well as the one I'm most excited about, which is fintech innovation, which aims to make the financial services sector more efficient. Investors have the option to invest in each of these different sectors from the various ETFs they have, or they can simply just invest in the generic ARK Innovation ETF, ticker symbol ARK, which gives you broad access to all these great disruptive technologies and companies across the board. Since its inception on Halloween night 2014, the returns have been scary good. ARK is an actively managed fund. This isn't just the passive buy the whole index and go to sleep investing strategy. Rather, Cathie Woods and her portfolio management team actively make the carefully calculated trades with investor capital. It does come as an expense though to us, with ARK having an expense ratio of 0.75%, which is pretty high. Expense ratio is basically what the fund uses to pay for their administrative costs. I'm sure Cathie is a very nice woman, but she isn't just going to be giving us these great gains for free. That's $75 out of every $10,000 invested going to the team. For comparison, another one of my favorite tech ETFs, QQQ, only has an expense ratio of 0.20%. However, Woods has shown that she can continue to outpace the market in total returns and crush her competition. Alternatively, having to do the extensive research in so many futuristic, complicated areas, including next-gen internet, robotics, genes, cryptocurrencies, green energy, none of these are my strong suits, and I doubt it is for many viewers. I'd rather let a team of experts do the research and then make the picks for me. Cathie Woods is certainly no scrub here. She's been a thematic portfolio manager for 30 plus years across several different companies before starting ARK Invest in 2014. She has over 40 years of experience in investing specifically in innovation. I'm sure she's seen the world change firsthand over the last 40 years. There's plenty of videos of her speaking scattered across here on YouTube, including podcasts. You can tell just by listening to her for a few minutes, she really knows her stuff. The way that she is able to articulate complex topics and give reasoning behind it is just incredible. It actually started ARK because when she proposed putting actively managed portfolios of innovative companies inside an ETF, the idea actually got laughed at and shut down at her old company. She believes that innovations where the cost can decline considerably over time, that will cause the most demand. ARK looks at a company culture and management execution on growth initiatives. The team does not buy anything unless it expects a company to go up in value 15% annually over the next 5 years, the minimum ARK expects to hold a position. Woods bought Bitcoin all the way back in 2015 when it was just $250. She raised plenty of eyebrows when she said that Tesla, in February of 2018, would one day reach $4,000 a share. This is pre-stock split. This is back when the sentiment for Tesla was not as high as it is today, and many people actually thought the company would go bankrupt. It's like every time she says something, people laugh, and then she touches it and it becomes gold. In response to her critics, Woods has stated, "Please like, comment, and subscribe to Citizen of the Year's channel to help him make more videos." I mean, yeah, she definitely did say that, but she also said, "It almost makes me feel comfortable, to be honest, because it means if we're right, then the rewards will be pretty enormous." I couldn't agree with her more, as if there's one thing I've learned in the last couple of years of this stock market investing journey, is that doing the opposite of the herd is often the most rewarding. Woods has an estimated net worth of $250 million, according to Forbes. Good enough for 80th richest self-made woman out of 3.5 billion people. I mean, that's pretty good. For comparison, Kylie Jenner at 23 is 29 with $700 million, but Kathy is at least ahead of her mom, Kris Jenner, who is the same age as Woods, 64 years old, and has a net worth of $190 million. With all the time and research ARK does, the expertise they have, the continued track record of success they've had, the fact that the fund is actively managed makes me totally okay to pay a high expense ratio for ARK's exposure. Compared to other actively managed funds, it's actually not even that high. In fact, I actually bought 3 shares on Friday to start my position in ARK Invest, as I will continue to dollar cost average into this position. I don't just make these videos for fun, I always try to put my money where my mouth is. This is a great ETF for all ages, but certainly for the younger ones like me. I agree with Kathy, technology is always going to be changing. It's always going to be disrupted. Norms change all the time. Just look at this pandemic and people having to work from home. Let's take a quick look at some of their top holdings. Number 1 is Tesla, which makes up 11% of the ETF. I don't think I need to explain what Tesla does or what they have already accomplished. They will change the transportation industry forever with electric vehicles, autonomous driving, robo-taxis, more efficient use of batteries, insurance, solar roofs, and so much more that we are not even on the cusp of their greatness. Their second largest holding is Invitae, which uses genetic information to guide healthcare decisions through every stage of life, to fertility, diagnosing and treating diseases, and how to preserve health. This could have the potential to impact billions. Oh, and by the way, in the last year, they're up almost 200%. Third is Square with a 6.4% weight. Square provides point-of-sale devices and analytical tools mainly for small businesses. But bigger businesses are now starting to enjoy Square's products as well. Plus, they also run the peer-to-peer payment platform Cash App, which has more than 300 million monthly active users. In the last year, Square stock is up almost 200%. At number 4, we have Roku, which has various digital media players for video streaming, able to advertise using these platforms. Currently, they have over 43 million active accounts. Roku stock is up 53% in the last year. I guess not everything ARK touches has a 200% gain in 1 year, but it does seem pretty close to that. To the companies that ARK holds, which is generally between 35 to 55 companies at a given point in time, are not companies that I generally would have ever invested in because I didn't have background information myself. And as a result, I would have missed on some pretty big gains. Now, this doesn't mean that there is no risk to investing in ARK. Most of the companies that they are involved in often are not proven. They have yet to even make any money, and it's not an ETF that is filled with blue chip companies. Just because ARK has torched the market the last 5 years, that doesn't mean that they can yet again. To look at their market cap, only 14% of their companies have over $100+ billion in market cap, and I'm sure Tesla makes the bulk of that. And then you can see that it's divided into different sectors of how big the market cap is, and there's some pretty small companies out there relative to what I usually talk about. Though with everything I went over previously, I'm really liking my odds, but I do want to hear from you. Do you think ARK, led by the great Cathie Woods, is a great investment for the future, or is this really a bubble ready to be burst? Let me know in the comments, as these videos do take a lot of time for me to research and edit. Please consider supporting the channel by simply dropping a like and subscribing, and be sure to follow me on Instagram, where I also am available to talk.